Kid Nation, what is going on? I want to make a video today about what I see too much of you guys in my chats and channels always asking me, hey man, do I long now? Hey man, do I short now? And usually those questions come after a move has already happened. I had that question today in Discord, and I'm kind of tired of it. Because some guy came in and was like, yo, do I long Solana now? I think it might break over 135. Which, fair, you have an idea, I suppose. But the whole point of trading, or even playing poker, in a sense, is about trying to plan your next move, plan your trade, plan your next really big decisive move. It is critical, motherfuckers, that you stop reacting to the market and start trying to plan for the market, aka predict it. Okay? Because the longer you go with the, oh, I'ma just go with whatever's, oh, we pumped, oh, I should maybe long. It's like, maybe you should have thought about longing Solana when it was over fucking sold on the fucking 3 hour, where it held 36 RSI, which is, we know as a bear trap RSI, relatively 36 RSI. It was hitting the trend line, and not maybe mid fucking way after a multi-day pump to be like, hey, should I be throwing up a long? Should I be throwing up a long-term long as well with that type of mindset? Because you just got to look at the stochastics. Like, can it go to 135? I mean, nothing's impossible in this world. But it's kind of like, okay, like, what is maybe the max right now? Maybe it's 128. Maybe we hit the top of the counter. The 100 EMA right there, right? But if you kind of look at the 9 hour, you kind of look at the 3 hour, we've had 3 fucking waves on the stochastic, and you're thinking about, boy, should I long? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Maybe you should have longed it here. Maybe you should have longed it here. Maybe you should have longed it here. Maybe when it's already done a decent portion of the move, your mind shouldn't go to like, oh, should I fucking long? And it just kind of like, you could get right, and that's what a lot happens to a lot of people, is they just randomly get it right, and they randomly think that they're getting good at trading, when in reality, a piece of news went their way, or something along the lines of that, right? So, I think it's very critical that you really, 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 really watch my videos. Like, I put out these videos for you guys to learn, and I feel like a lot of you just either just kind of quickly watch it, or you watch my live streams and you're like, oh, okay, or like you base your trades off the 9-minute too much. I don't know exactly what some of your problems are, because the story is very simple, which leads me to believe you're not writing your story. You're just reacting to the story that you just read, right? You need to be able to write. Why do you think on my YouTube channel, right? I have many videos about timing your trade, writing your story, timing your trade. Another video on stochastic RSI, which is like, a big portion of my channel, right? Stochastic RSI, because stochastic RSI is a time indicator. For me, I might be fucking technically wrong in a textbook or whatever. I don't give a fuck what the textbooks say. I never read a textbook, and I never will read a textbook on trading crypto or any of this garbage, because this is not even real. It's a fugazi, guys. It's fake. You think fucking quant guys at fucking Wall Street are fucking using this shit? No, bro. Maybe they use EMAs just to kind of get a range of like what's the average price people are paying for. But everything else is relatively bullshit. All you're trying is to find a fucking pattern and try to play that pattern and see how long you can play that pattern for until the pattern breaks, right? That's fundamentally it. That's my strategy, right? By me telling you that, I've already told you what my plan is. I've already pre-planned what I'm already going to do. I'm not going to be like looking at the 3 hour right now and being like, is this a good time to long? It seems to be kind of bullish. Maybe you should, there are situations where you should look into, hey, what's happening with the stock market? What's happening with, what Trump is saying? But with Trump right now, it's such a fucking shit show that it's really kind of hard to kind of like get a good grasp, other than, like, trend is your friend. That's probably your best fucking thing right now, right? It's what we saw on the hourly a few days ago when we were on here, when we were dropping back down to 74K. So I know we're on Solana, but where the fuck is Bitty Titty? Yeah, when Bitcoin dropped to 74K and I was on live stream, I was like, hey guys, we're not getting that volume that we want, right? Where I wanted to see it over $1 billion in shorts if you really want to break a key area. We weren't getting a consistent over $300 million in shorts when that was happening down here. We were still hitting the region right there, right? That, we're writing the story, right? A lot of you guys aren't writing the fucking story. You're reacting to the story, and you're not writing a story. You're letting the market write the story for you, okay? You need to be able to know the story, the multiple ways of the story that the story can go before the story even gets to the next page, okay? This is what I've noticed is a lot of your guys' fucking problem. You're reacting to the story. You are not writing the story. Why do you think I spend hours a day on stream, all day, every day, theorizing the different paths that we can take? Why does it seem like I'm right every time? It's not that I'm right every time. I am just trying to figure out what door is the market going to walk through, and when it walks through that one door, what doors are available after that door? Because at some point in time, when you break a trend, right? When you break a trend, that's a good door that you quote unquote walk through. Like when I when I look at this RSI and I see an RSI break, that's a big thing for me because we've walked through a door and now we can see what are the next options, right? That is all that you have to do. That is it. It is not hard. You just have to put a fuck ton of effort into it. Do you see how much effort I put into it? You must be putting in 3 times the effort because I've spent 30,000 plus hours looking at these charts, figuring out different patterns, figuring out where the doors go, and you are just at the beginning of your journey trying to figure out how these doors work. Write the story, figure out the door, which one are you going through, and see where you can take yourself once you go through those doors. That's all it is. It's a decision map tree. That's all it is. You have decision 1. Decision 1 leads to these 2 decisions, which breaks off into maybe 3 more decisions. I know I've done this on my other YouTube videos before, right? So I really, really want to stress the importance of writing the story, not reacting to the story. Because if you react to the story, yeah, once in a while, you're going to do well. It's like, oh, you react, right? Right? But sooner or later, you're not going to be able to react in time, or your reaction will be too slow to what already has happened, right? If I'm looking at the daily right now on Bitcoin, my God. Always happens when I start recording. I swear to God, my throat goes fucking wild. Anyways, right? If I'm looking at the daily right now, I'm trying to figure out the multiple stories that can happen here. We've got the story where Bitcoin gigapumps, let's say it goes to like 90K, stochastic still's not overbought, the RSI, pushes up to whatever, 66, and then that becomes a potential bull trap, right? I'm looking at that story. I look at the potential, what's the most likely story? What's the most likely story? All right, maybe top of the Kellner, 100 EMA, 200 EMA area right here, right? What I said in my market update video like a day or 2 ago, or yesterday's video, I started to forget what I say sometimes at this point, right? I'm trying to figure out what is the story here, right? What is the 9 hour trying to tell me? 9 hours trying to tell me, okay, are we getting a little bit extended? Well, and then not only that is like try to go back in history and be like, what happened when we approached a similar door, right? You may not always get the same door, but you might get a similar door that you can walk through. So make it very, very your number one thing, planning your trade, writing your story, figuring out, and if by chance, hey, you know what, you missed the long, okay, is there a short available? When is the next long? Let's say you only play one side of the story like I do. I only short, and some people only long, right? What is, and that's in my opinion, that's the better way to do things, at least at the beginning, because then you won't get your mind messed up into long, short, long, short, long, short, and eventually that's gonna fuck you up even harder, right? Logging and shorting at the same time is very difficult, in a sense. for many people at the beginning. Don't get it twisted. Because narratives change, mindsets change, emotions change, and it just becomes a shit show, right? So if you're like planning the next long, in a sense, right? And this is where patience comes in, right? This is where it's like, hey, I need to wait, I need to wait, I need to wait. I need to just trust the process, trust in my ability to try to predict the market, right? Because that's what you're fundamentally trying to do here, right? So, kind of a little bit of a market update here at the end as well, because I don't got time to record another market update. So you're getting a little bit of video, and for the people that are watching this a year, 2 years in advance, I hope it worked out. But right now what I'm looking at is, yeah, we probably are going to get a little bit of an extension here on the hourly to whatever, the top of this trend line, 85K, middle of the 200 EMA on the daily. Makes sense. Could we push up a little bit higher to, like, you know, FOMO people over the weekend, right? You got to take in consideration what time of the weekend is it, right? Does that seem more reasonable? Most likely. The second story that would obviously be a play out here is the 3-hour Bitcoin unit. We've talked about this before, where over the last few months, we've been quite heavily below this 3-hour 200 EMA, which could be a big trend break, right? But whenever there is a big trend break, let's say there is a trend break here. Let's just say, okay, you know what? The bulls are going to get more bullish, and it's going to extend into the weekend, and we're going to go to 88K, right? Let's say that's the theory here, right? And in the if that is your theory, right, behind it, you do know two things, right? Let's say it does break up. Let's say it does break up here, right? Let's say it goes to 86K, and you're like, oh my god, it broke out of the channel, right? Channel breaks are cool, but like at the same time, they're way more cool on daily charts, right? But let's say it does a channel break here, right? And let's say, you know, the stochastic gets a little bit extended, and then we push back down, right? And it goes back down, and then that's where you want to maybe catch your next long, when the hourly goes back to oversold, and then that 3 hours starts doing the same pattern where it's like bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, send it back up. Then you can time a better long, because if you do time a long right now, let's say you do open up a long right now, and it goes to 86K, and you're like, wow, this is a breakout, we're going to the moon, right? And then it goes back down, maybe even goes back down even further than you thought, and now you get stop loss. All this profit that you could have had here, which you didn't take because, once again, you didn't plan your trade, you reacted to your trade. You know, you end up, you know, riding the elevator for free, which is our #1 rule at Naked Nation. Do not ride the elevator for free, right? Always get paid a little bit. Always take a little bit of profit. I rode the elevator the other day on the fucking Solana and the fucking Chainlink short because I was a fucking dumbass. Anyways, didn't plan well. Got smoked. Well, in a sense, smoked. I didn't make any money. It kind of sucks to not make money, to be fair, right? So, very critical that you are patient and you write the story. If you are patient and you write your story, you will have better results than reacting to the story. If you keep asking me, and the final thing of this video, stop asking me in my fucking Discord, do I long now? Do I short now? If you want to do something and you want my fucking input, put the fucking work in. Tell me why you want to do it. Don't make me grab it out of your teeth and be like, hey homie, why do you want a long? Well, I want a long because it's the 200 EMA and the 1 EMA, right? Stop being a child. Stop being a child. You want to grow up and you want to learn how to fucking trade? Tell me exactly why you want to do something. Stop being a fucking loser fucking pussy. Start putting in the fucking work. This is not a joke. This is not like, hey, do I long, do I short? Stop being a fucking pussy. Tell me why. And if I don't answer you, at least you are learning to yourself, hey, blah, 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 this XY story writing, right? You got to start fucking doing it. This is not an easy strategy to just copy. Look at the stochastics, look at the 9 minutes, look at the whatever. You have to be really, really good at writing your story. Why do you think I write market updates in the Discord every fucking day, guys? Why do you think I do that? Because I'm trying to perfect my story writing. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm just wrong by a little shift. And then I adjust. What did I do wrong? 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 You motherfuckers are lazy fucks. So stop being a lazy fuck. Start typing more in Discord. There's a section called Your Fucking Analysis. Okay? I want to see people posting their fucking ideas, why you want to do something, why you think something is going to happen. And then that way, you can learn to be better instead of trying to fucking wait for my live streams or whatever to try to figure out what to do. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Brush your hair. Scrub your scalp. I'll be back on Monday. Still relatively bearish unless we crack over 88K. And I'll see you on the next one.